At the point of this recording, I'm 23 years old, and these are 23 pieces of advice that I would definitely give to my younger self if I could actually speak to him. I'm going to be touching on 4 key areas within one's life: their mind, their body, their soul, and also their finances/business. And hopefully, as I share some of the lessons I've been reflecting on over these past few years with you guys, you're also able to benefit. So quickly, who am I? I'm Samuel Adetifa, 23 years old, and I am a creative/entrepreneur. So I've been in multiple industries, that is finance, network marketing, music, entertainment, property, name it, I've probably done it, right? So with all those experiences within my life, what I've come to a simple conclusion of is that life is a sport, and typically it's the same traits you're going to need in every single area of your life to progress. Now, what I've done, I've split into 5 different things in each single section. And if you wait to the end, you'll have 3 bonuses that hopefully can also benefit you guys as well. So make sure to wait to the end. So firstly, your mindset is one of the most important factors within your life. Why? It's because your mindset is the foundation to everything. In fact, the great emperor Marcus Aurelius actually touches on this within the Meditations, right? He says, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. You see, the great emperor and a lot of leaders over the period of, history have realized that if you don't have a strong mindset and don't actually have alignment within your mindset, you're not going anywhere. Reason being is because your mindset is literally the navigator of your entire life. Right? When we break the 2 words down, I know I'm not a manifestation coach, it's just simple science. You got your mind, which is the foundation over here. And the set part of it, this is how I look at it, is whatever you set your mind on. So set the foundation and whatever the goals are within your life. It's the course navigator to wherever you want to go within your life. So you have to make sure you're setting your mind upon things that will progress you. So whatever you set your mind upon, that is wherever you're going to go. As a man thinketh, so is he. And this now leads me to my second point, which is you need a growth mindset. Now, what is actually a growth mindset? A growth mindset is the simple belief that anything is achievable with consistency, hard work, and focus. It is the simple belief saying you can actually accomplish anything you want within your life as long as you remain a student to the game. Now, how do you accomplish a growth mindset? Number 1, you need to surround yourself in good environments, meaning get yourself out of whatever you're comfortable in right now. You need to actually be around people that think way bigger, way better than you, and naturally you're going to start absorbing some of the traits that they have. Number 2, you need to also educate yourself through books, webinars, and also mentors. And with mentors and coaches, these are people that have already been to the destinations that you want to get to. And not only that, they will also be able to guide you in the process of you actually wanting to get to wherever you need to go. Now, that leads me to my third point, which is shit in, shit out. Now, I don't just say that for the sake of swearing. What it simply means is that whatever you're putting into your system, you are going to get out as a result. What we have here is 2 buckets with water in them. Now, this tends to be us when we first start as entrepreneurs. We tend to be people that may have been taught, the wrong things. We've been surrounded in the wrong environments. And as a result, this is our brain. This is our mentality right now. It's just full of shit, right? Now, the whole idea behind personal development, having a growth mindset, and setting your mind on the things that will actually grow you is that when you are going through personal development, let's just imagine this is like a filtration system right here. You're basically putting all that water through it by, again, going to those webinars, surrounding yourself in the right environments, getting a mentor/a coach, and way more. And by doing all of these activities day in, day out, what ends up happening as a result is that you end up coming out with what you could say good water, right? But that could only happen as a result of you putting these good inputs into your mind. You need to feed your mind with things that are going to progress it. Feed your mind with things that are going to actually allow it to expand and get way better. If not, what's going to end up happening is that you stay like the 90%, which is just society at large. And that's also typically why you tend to see that a lot of people don't actually make it out of their circumstance, because they can't change their mind and actually filter it, do the work, and actually get it to a point where it goes from this into this. Now, the fourth point is to always think long term. The thing you want to always do is that you want to set a big goal or goals, right, within your area, your mind, your body, your soul, etc. And then number two, what you want to do is that you always want to be thinking long term in every single thing you do. Now, what does this mean? It means that whenever you're looking to make a decision, you're not thinking in terms of instant gratification, which is right now, but you're thinking in terms of delayed gratification, which is thinking long term. Let's take food as an example. You want to hit a body goal in the future and you want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So as a result, you think long term by choosing the foods in the now that are going to benefit you then, right? It's similar to your career trace or in your business. You might not want to do code calls and you might not want to do prospecting, getting clients, DMing people all day, all these long things that we have to do as entrepreneurs. But at the end of the day, because you're thinking long term and you're thinking towards your big goal that you set, you've now not only motivated yourself, but you've disciplined yourself to a point where you're now thinking long term and acting long term. Now, one thing I always like to say to my mentees and people that ask me for, any tips and tricks is that you want to be in this balance, right? Where you are patient in terms of the long term. Let's just say this is the long term because majority of our life is yet to come. And this is the now, right? And that's the long term. So in the now, in the short term, you want to work aggressively as if though you're not going to be able to see tomorrow, but have the patience to be able to wait to actually reap the rewards in the long term. Because as we know as entrepreneurs, you're not just going to wake up and the next day when you start a project, you're going to see the results. It doesn't work like that, right? But by you thinking long term and putting in the actions that you're putting in right now, long term, it will actually start to benefit you significantly. Now, the last one is that emotional intelligence is key, and I'll actually add stoicism into it as well. So when we're talking about emotional intelligence, the whole concept of it is just being aware of your emotions. And I'm taking it from a stoicism perspective as well. So with the Stoics, they inherently thought that life is suffering, but you have to make the most out of it in the presence. It's all about being aware of everything going around you, but not allowing it to affect you. A lot of the time, not only as entrepreneurs, but just in general, humans, for some reason, we don't want to deal with our emotions. We don't want to deal with the things that we're actually facing. And as a result, that's the reason why you see in the Western world, mental health going through the roof and things like that. It's tragic. In saying that, as someone that is attentive and actually listening to what I'm saying right now, it is so key to not only be aware of your emotions, but develop the disciplines to be able to deal with them head on. As an entrepreneur, you are going to be going through so many trials and tribulations, so many failures, so many things that will actually challenge you to want to grow better and be better, right? That's the whole idea behind the growth mindset as well. It is centered around personal development. Look, at the end of the day, you can only grow through pain, through forcing yourself out of your comfort zone and embracing the new version of yourself at every single level, right? So in saying that, you can only do that if you're aware of your emotions, you're able to process it, and then develop solutions to deal with it. Because in reality, some emotions are not going to just go away. You can't necessarily just ignore your emotions either. That's something that I used to do, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend, because what it ends up doing is that it makes you feel void within yourself, and also you can't connect with other people as well. So that is something I'll definitely tell myself if I was looking back at this video. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to develop your mindset, your skill set, and also develop a tool set, which means resources around you, then definitely join my school community. Link down in the description. See you guys in the next one. Now, number 2, we're going on to body. There is a quote out there that I don't necessarily know who actually said it, but it resonates so well. The quote says, "If you offered a man $10 million but told him he had to die tomorrow, he would refuse it. Yet people wake up every day with something more valuable, life itself, and don't appreciate it. So a part of this is actually to do with mindset, but more than that, it's actually talking about a few principles I'm going to cover right now. Number one, your parents matters. Now, when I say this, I'm not necessarily saying it in a superficial way, saying that, it's only your parents that matters and no one's going to care about you and da. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, you have to become sexy in life. Right? You have to be able to confidently look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, you know what? I like how I look today. You know what? I'm happy because I was able to actually get the body that I wanted. I am maybe there. If you're not there yet, maybe I'm working there diligently every single day to be able to accomplish the body that I actually want, the being I want, the physique I want, etc. We have to understand that appearance it really matters. People make judgments on how they first see you, right? Whether it is a business meeting, whether it is a date, whether it is an opportunity that you've just been presented. People will rather give the opportunity to someone that actually looks like they actually give a damn about themselves versus someone that doesn't. So bear that at the back of your mind. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to argue with anyone. It just is what it is, right? It is what it is. It's something that I used to actually not really like as a concept, especially when I was, let's say, way younger and I wasn't really acting, things like that. I had a bit of a pot belly, etc. I was like, oh, why do people only care about our parents and things like that? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Just understand it, right? And do something about it, please. Number two, how you look usually dictates how you feel. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it should dictate how you feel in every single circumstance, but what I am saying is that if you look good, you're going to feel good. If you feel good, then guess what? The way you treat other people and the way you attack life in general is going to be way different versus the person that actually doesn't feel that type of way. These are things that you really need to actually take into consideration, that someone that is working on themselves every single day to get better and to do better, guess what? You are actually going to develop something so key, which is, again, confidence. When you are confident, people can feel it from 10 miles away. Look, in today's society, people are not confident, unfortunately. Do you know how hard it is for you to start a business, or to say you're going to do something different, or to get in the gym, or to even record content like I'm recording right now? It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but if you feel confident within yourself by putting in the work in the gym, getting on your diet and all these type of things I'm going to cover, you will end up developing the skills and the attributes to be confident in other areas as well. And it's just a simple fact. So please look into this and double down on it, please. Number three, I would pick up a martial art way sooner. Now, growing up in an African household, right? If I even mention anything to do with martial arts, there's not going to be a nice conversation at the end of the day. It's just not. My parents would forbid it and things like that. But obviously, growing older, you have autonomy, right? Meaning you are able to actually dictate what you want to do. You can go out, responsibilities, all that good stuff. And I remember the first time I ever got into something like kickboxing. At the beginning, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be able to actually get all these guys. I'm going to be able to beat everyone up because obviously I'm a bigger guy, right? Next thing you know, I step into the ring and one of the instructors was trying to demonstrate a kick for me, right? If you saw how fast that kick almost caught me on the side here. Listen, I don't think you guys are understanding. I'm a big guy. Like, I can handle myself, right? But the speed, if that had hit me, I'm not too sure I would be able to even have this conversation with you guys today. And that truly made me realize that at the end of the day, as a person, especially guys, because I'm a guy, so, you will never be able to really realize how strong or how weak you are unless you put yourself into danger and actually get into a fight with someone in a ring. Being in those environments, it forces you to actually understand your true capabilities. And in saying that, I wish I'd put myself into those environments way sooner, because I do believe that it would put a different type of hunger into me as an entrepreneur. I truly believe so, right? It's all good being able to grind away and do all these type of things, but it's a difference when you're actually attacking life and also your business with a fighter's mentality. Because at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, life is a sport. Life is a battle. You need that mindset, and that can be developed if you pick up a martial art. Number 4, health is wealth. Now look, if someone came to you and actually offered you a significant amount of money in exchange for your life, meaning you take this money and tomorrow you will die, a strong majority of us will rather choose life than money. That means that yes, money is important, but it's not more important than your life. And funny enough, someone actually said, you don't want to spend your life and your health chasing and grinding away for money. And when you finally attain the money, you don't have the health to actually enjoy that money. It is sad. You don't want to be in that type of position, right? So make sure you're cherishing your health. Make sure to understand that that is the true wealth, because there are people out here that would, listen, they will kill to be in your position right now, to be a fully functioning human being with good health, etc. So please cherish it and act like it and do the things that actually show that you cherish your health like you say you do. This means eating better. Sometimes I eat way too much junk, and that isn't healthy. It's not healthy for your mind. It's not healthy for your body either, right? So I'll definitely tell myself to work on that and to make sure that my body is getting the love that it deserves. And number 5, I would say get more sleep. You see, from coming from the entertainment industry, I would be working all night, right? Doing all-nighters. In fact, earlier this week, funny enough, me and one of the artists that I record with, right, we actually did we call them graveyard sessions. So that is working from around 12 a.m. all the way till, early morning. We actually did a 12-hour session. So I didn't leave the studio until 12 p.m. or something like that. And I hadn't done one of those in years. Oh my days. And I felt it the next day. It was fun, don't get twisted, but I felt it the next day because I wasn't giving my body the rest that it deserved. You can't be in the gym, hitting the gym aggressively, doing martial arts, and then not eating healthy, and then not sleeping. That's a recipe for disaster. So as an entrepreneur, understand that your mind and your body is literally the vehicle you need to get you to your destination. So treat that vehicle with care by sleeping more. Now with business, number 1, pick up a high paid skill immediately and monetize even sooner. Now, what is a high paid skill? These are skills that when you apply them to the right vehicle, they can literally transform your financial situation. So they are split into 2 categories. We're talking about hard skills and we're also talking about soft skills as well. So hard skills are just simple things such as everyone should learn about sales, everyone should learn about marketing, and simple things such as even content, for example. Now, outside of that, it's dependent on the niche that you're in. So, for example, I'm into property and marketing. So I will be doubling down on that versus someone that, for example, just wants to become a high-ticket closer, where I would actually recommend you focus more so on sales. Now, on soft skills, it's things like emotional intelligence. It's things like understanding how to hold conversation, so it's communication/tonality, and overall becoming likable. Being the type of person that people can have conversations with, they know, they like, they trust, and as a result, you're able to get into rooms and start to demonstrate these hard skills in front of people that actually need them. Remember, people only give opportunities and business to people that they actually like. So you need both of these simultaneously. Number 2, marketing over sales. Now, a lot of people may be wondering, why am I saying marketing over sales? I've spent tens of thousands literally on sales training, right? So I've developed the skill set of understanding how to close deals, how to sell, products and services to people. I understand the psychology behind that. But if I had put that same amount of energy and attention into marketing, then I genuinely believe that I would be clear already. You see, Alex Hormozi says something so key. He said, it's hard to go broke if you are able to attract customers that are willing to bang down your door to purchase your product and services. So if you have a great product or skill set, service, for example, you need to be able to find clients and also get them to locate you as well. That is way more important than doubling down on, sales and things like that. I genuinely believe that if you are able to get 70 to 80% dialed in through marketing, the rest can then be taken by sales, not the opposite way. Because think of it like this. If you have a great product and it has no marketing, no one knows who you are, no one has any reviews or anything on you, but you're the greatest person to sell, that product or service, it's going to be very, very hard to convince that person to buy. It's going to be. Let's be very, very honest. Whereas if it's something that people already can see in the marketplace is already operating and they actually are starting to develop, a likability towards it, it's going to be way easier to sell that. It's just common sense. Now, number 3, a famous quote from Elon Musk. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty or problems you solve. If you want to get paid handsomely, you gotta go and solve the biggest and baddest problems ever, right? You can't expect to get paid handsomely for solving a small problem. It doesn't work like that. The marketplace only rewards people that are able to contribute heavily towards it and get clients to see that. And as a result, that's when we actually see a cash exchange. And a quick tip, typically it tends to be these 3 problems that people look at. So health, wealth, and relationships. So if you are able to develop a strong solution around these 3 topics, then it will be very, very hard, provided of course you do marketing, right? To go broke. Now, number 4, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. At the end of the day, you can be the most talented person in the world, like I said before, but if you're unable to negotiate your value to people and allow them to see this, then you will never get paid. So you need to understand how to actually negotiate that value to the audience, to your customers and your clients. And as a result, again, your pockets will never run if dry. Now, number 5 is extremely important. Understand that it's just business, is nothing personal. A lot of the time when you want to get into business, you tend to bring your emotions and tend to bring friendships and family into business and get burnt as a result. We need to understand that when we're dealing with business, it's just business. When people want to move mad or they betray you or they snake you because of money and things like that, it's just business. So I've mentioned to you guys multiple times on this channel that I've failed a lot of businesses. Hence the reason why I've been in so many different, industries. And a lot of the time, to be honest, I'll never admit that because I like to take accountability. I always like to say, instead of me thinking, okay, where did they go wrong? Where did I go wrong in the thing? I think that I just put my trust in the wrong people and I didn't see red flags way soon enough. But that is simply because I didn't understand this concept. For example, in some of my recent businesses, I put too much trust in the wrong people, and as a result, I got burnt significantly. But that is simply because I was looking at people from a case of, okay, cool, I like this person, I believe they're cool, and I wasn't actually realizing that, there may be 1 or 2 red flags that I'm seeing right here, that as a result, I shouldn't have actually mixed all this personal stuff in and just seen it as business. And as a result, I could have probably prevented 1 or 2 circumstances happening. Do you know what I mean? But nonetheless, again, it's business. Business is cutthroat, right? So learn that way sooner, unless you're going to literally be like a lamb going to get slaughtered, in this business world. Now, with the soul, number 1, God first. I don't think I need to say anything other than that. You see, if you try to get to the top without the Most High, when you get to the top, and yeah, there are successful people that have done it without trusting and having him as a foundation, but we've seen the correlation that when they get there, they feel empty, they feel meaningless because they weren't doing it for a greater purpose. They was doing it solely for themselves, right? So please prioritize that. Prioritize the Most High. That's what I would tell my younger self. Prioritize the Most High, please. Number 2, everyone is born with a purpose. I know I don't mean it in a law of attraction way and things like that. Nah. What I mean is that every single person has been born with a unique attribute. That unique attribute that if they were to actually utilize within their life, it can actually impact not only themselves, but also impact other people as well. We've all been created and programmed with a mission. And Part of life is discovering that, honing into that, and allowing that to speak for you in your journey. Number 3, never sacrifice your integrity. There are countless ways to blow tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it. We've seen it so many times where people have literally sacrificed their integrity to get famous, and when they get to the top, all of a sudden we're seeing, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. They have a bunch of regrets and things like that. And whilst I'm not, casting judgment on them or anything like that, what I'm saying is that just because you are taking the long path to get to the destination doesn't necessarily mean you're in the wrong. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good to go the long way, to go the way that not everyone else is going, for the sake of your own peace of mind. Number 4, be evenly yoked. It is so key to be surrounded by people that are going to boost your spirit and your soul. You see, we have a diagram right here that talks about, the soul, what the spirit is, what the body is, and it's accurate, it's accurate. It talks about the fact that, with the spirit is relating to the Most High. It is, when you're praying, when you're meditating, things like that. When you are now looking at the soul, it is now looking at, for example, your mind, your emotions, and your will, right? Looking at your heart and things like that, how you're relating to other people. You need to be surrounded by people that are going to boost your soul, and as a result, your spirit will also be lifted as well. And all these things, they play into each other, right? Having the correct body will allow you to have a great soul. And as a result, you're going to be able to have, a great spirit. That's what you would want to have. It's not always the case, but that's what you would want to also strive for. And the reason why you want to strive for it is because number 5, that is just the foundation. Like I said, your mind is the foundation, but even deeper than that, below that, the subconscious is that soul, the soul, the spirit element, the bit that we can't see and the bit that we can't necessarily just grab. It is deeper than us. Do you know what I mean? So definitely look into that, please. Now for the last 3. Number 1, study and get into AI from now. People say that the AI revolution has already come, but it hasn't. We are literally just beginning, getting into AI automation and things like that. People are saying that AI is going to replace jobs, which yes, it will, but more so than that, it's just making jobs way more efficient. So you need to start picking up the skills so that you're making your business and making your job, your daily tasks and things like that way more efficient, And I'm going to start creating way more videos around AI and automation if you guys actually ask for it, because I definitely believe there's a market for it. There's so many things that people want to learn. And I'd love to share that with you guys, how I'm able to implement AI into my business on a daily basis. Number 2 of the bonus is invest early. I think this is just self-explanatory. A lot of the principles that I'm saying right now, a lot of the principles that the most successful people will tell you are always the most simple, basic things. But investing early is so key, because when you're starting, all you have is time. So you sacrifice your time in order for you to make money. As a result, you want to take that money and then use it to buy back your time through investing, and also allowing that money to work for you until you get to a point where you don't actually have to work anymore. So the earlier you do it, the way better. Get into the habit from now. And lastly, it's okay to ghost. You see, in your 20s, these are the years that everyone's trying to figure themselves out, figure life out. It's the years you want to make mistakes. It's the years that you want to develop as a human being, right? So don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's okay, like I said, to fail. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to venture out. When people are getting a bit in their emotions, saying, we don't see you around and listen, it's okay to be locked in. Be locked in on yourself, on your vision and what you need to achieve, because at the end of the day, it's you and you alone, right? You came to this world by yourself and you're going to leave by yourself. So always remember that and keep that at the back of your mind whenever you're doing things. So guys, those are the 23 pieces of advice that I would tell my younger self, and I hope it was able to benefit you guys as well.